Hi, I'm Amanda Fortini. I'm the Beverly Fellow at Black Mountain Institute and author of the forthcoming book, Flamingo Road. And I'm here today to answer some questions for you. I wish the rest of the world knew that there are people who actually live in Las Vegas, not just tourists. I wrote an entire essay about that. The people of Las Vegas. I wish that they knew those of us who live here, we don't live in casinos. We don't live in little trailers behind the casinos. We don't live on golf courses. But in all seriousness, beyond that, I think people think that all that's here is, our casinos and gambling and everything that goes along with that. And in fact, we have it's one of the best food towns, if not the best food town, I would say, in the country. We have an incredible Chinatown with all kinds of, Asian restaurants. If you venture off the strip, you can try those. We have a thriving arts community, both visual arts and writing. There's just so much more than just gambling here, and I wish people knew that. So that's an interesting question. I think what I identify as a through line in my work is one, social class, an awareness of class. I think that often gets overlooked in America. I don't come from a kind of fancy or wealthy background, so I think it makes me particularly attuned to it. And I try in my work to give voice to people and places that often get overlooked. I think another thing that is a through line through my work is a certain kind of precise attention to detail, a way of noticing, whether that's something beautiful or something disturbing. I try to really get the details right. Because I think that writing really lives in the details. I like the question of what role community plays in a writer's life, because I think a lot of us spend a lot of time alone by ourselves at our desks. But for me, especially for this work, it could not have been written without the community that I exist in. It's a book, in some senses, about community, and it is very much ensconced in concentric layers of community. First, the community of Black Mountain Institute, which has supported the work, the book, and my articles that led to it. Then the larger community of the writers that I know in Vegas and the writer's block. And with all of those people, I've had extensive conversations about Las Vegas. And then beyond that, there's the larger community of Vegas itself, the city itself, and the people who have let me interview them here, who have let me report on them, observe them. Without community, this book wouldn't exist. I love this question. I interviewed Nicole Kidman, and actually when I was interviewing her, it was during the pandemic lockdown, and she was in Australia. She was filming, she had just filmed, I think, the AMC commercial that this question refers to. Heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Does it feel good in Las Vegas? I think there's a real genius to this question, because if you are experiencing heartbreak in Las Vegas, and maybe there's something to Las Vegas that kind of facilitates heartbreak, anyone could guess what those things are, you can partake in any one of the many vices that are readily available here that might, assuage your heartache. But also, I think there's something about Las Vegas. I interviewed Tim Burton when he had his show at the Neon Museum, and he told me that there's something about Las Vegas that for him is synonymous with loneliness. And in my book, I'm exploring what that might be. One of the things I miss about the old Vegas, and I use old in quotation marks since I've been here for about 8 years, but even in that time, I've noticed a change in that Vegas used to be more of a 24/7 town. And that was one of the things that I absolutely loved about it. Post-pandemic, it closes down, a lot earlier than it used to. When I first moved here, if I got a hankering to go to a casino at 2 a.m. or whatever after I was writing, I could, and sometimes I did. And I do miss that aspect of it. I've always loved plants and flowers. I mean, who doesn't love flowers? And I've been a kind of amateur scholar of herbs. Like, I've been very into herbalism. So during the pandemic, on a kind of whim, I signed up for a 9-month apprenticeship to become a flower essence practitioner. And I completed it and got certified. I'm not practicing right now, but concurrent with this, in that strange, mystical, serendipitous way that life sometimes works, the Times started asking me, as I was doing this apprenticeship, to write about plants and flowers. And I've written a number of pieces for them. I'm glad to know you like it. I'll keep doing it. I have so many of Vegas's best kept secrets. I'm like a human guidebook. I would say to recent transplants, you need to get off the strip if you think that's all of Vegas. Explore all of the culinary options in Vegas. Go to Chinatown. There's some of the best Asian restaurants in the world there. There is great thrift and vintage shopping here. I love clothing, and there's a lot, that you can explore in that realm. Go check out the Barrack Museum on campus. Go to some of the readings, that at the Writer's Block and Black Mountain Institute. There's just so much to do in Las Vegas, obviously. But having said that you should get off the strip, I also want to say that you should explore the strip, because it's not an either-or situation here. It's a total organism with a lot of cross-pollination that happens. And walk around casinos, eat at some of the restaurants there. Get to know this city as a totality, and you'll be much happier here. I hope no one sees the outtakes. They're so embarrassing. It's like you're off and then you're on, then you're off.
Now I'm going to make an outtake reel.
It's like Sex, Lies, and Videotapes or something, if you've ever seen that movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to make an outtake reel.